It's already like officially half of November, and I'm so glad to be back here. So let me know if you're tuning from. We are live right now on our Facebook page, on our personal page, on LinkedIn, as well as on our business page, which is Savvy Chic Design. And I have to reset up everything again, but I'm so glad that we're back and we are actually going to be talking about 5 gaps that is killing your growth. So it's just a few more days that we can count maybe with our fingers plus our toes before 2025 ends. And there's a lot of things I know as a business owner that you are planning to do in your business, making sure that everything is aligned, everything is on track for 2026, especially as you prepare every information that you have. And we are back from Australia. So I just want to give a shout out to Canva. Thank you so much for that amazing adventure. It was so nice to be with fellow experts in Canva. We've just rolled out a Daytona community labs. We have a community labs for Canva this coming Thursday. I will be in Nashville on around December to be with an amazing client as well as my mentor and coach. And 2026 is here, and I'm just so excited to talk to you, scaling business owners who maybe in 2025 tried to figure things out and align everything. And now you are ready to scale more. And this is just such an amazing topic. So let me know where you are tuning from. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this one on a replay, please do feel free to comment. Let me know if this topic will resonate with you. Let me know if 2026 is a scaling year for you, meaning you have hit your certain milestone in 2025 and now you are going to the next level when it comes to your business, right? So we're going to be talking about what I call the 5 hidden gaps when it comes to your growth. So a lot of us business owner really focus first on like the front end, right? This is part of the marketing and the sales that we try. This is the fun part actually in business. This is where you design some stuff, you create your offers, you create your everything that people can see, and then you start to networking with a lot of people, you start to build that relationship, and this is really the part wherein it's just so exciting. And if you start to scale, this is where the back end can be so chaotic. So let me put a little bit of a story when it comes to scaling. So around 2022, that was a part we're in, because 2020 was the one that I went full time with Savvy Chic Design. And then that's where I've really worked hard with all of their offers and all of the clients that we have. And then 2021, I started to hire some contractors to help me out because it was really getting overwhelmed. And but I was still so was hard letting go of the things that I should have been delegating. And that's one thing that a lot of us business owner is having a hard time, especially when you're scaling and you now have to delegate things because you always think they're not as good as you. They don't understand your business and that they might just mess up. So there's a lot of things. But I remember this project. It was a website. We were in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We checked in. It was a good trip with me and my husband, and a client pinged me that the website needs and had some error, and the contractor that I hired was then MIA, and it was just like, what's happening? So I had to tell my husband that I can't join him on a trip or an activity that we actually booked because I need to address this one. And I was crying like I could have enjoyed this moment with my husband. We could have just enjoyed Tennessee. We have been in Gatlinburg maybe 2 or 3 times. One with my mom, 2 times I think with us. Just kind of, it's the closest, right, to Kentucky as a form of like a mini vacation that we had. And from that day forward, I really said, I cannot sustain this if I want to move forward with our business or with my business. I cannot be hauling a website project while I'm on trip. Number one, there's two things that would happen if that happens to you. You are creating a disservice, number one, to your client, and you're also creating a disservice to your family member or to your husband, to your spouse, to your partner, to your friends, if you are actually not being able to prepare yourself in the back end when you're trying to scale. So just imagine me. I was in Australia for 11 days. It was a busy itinerary. Canva has all of this amazing things that has been lined up. There's a lot of things that is going on. So I really cannot. And I'm so happy. I just want to give the shout out to Chrisfella, our project coordinator. She is amazing. And I'm so happy. I've really prayed for amazing team members to really understand what is it that I'm building and what we are doing for our clients, is that she was really able to run everything, hit the ground running without much of my input, because all right, this is not just happen overnight. This is just not happening just out of the blue. It was because I've really prepared all of the things that she needs in order for me to step away. She has a copy of our standard operating procedure for the different types of project that comes in. We have a project management tool. We have a communication tool with internal team. We have templates of emails and what to be said on each stage of the project. These are some key things that needs to be prepared by a business owner like you when it comes to your back end, as well as when you have your sales and marketing. That is operational part, right? And then you need to make sure that all of the tools that people use, they understand what is going on. When you empower your people, when you're trying to scale, that is going to help you more as a business owner to really move forward with your business. Now, this did not happen overnight for me. I cried. I've cussed. I've said all of the things. I've even told myself, I've even told my team members, those who are working with me, is that I really appreciate them because they have seen the best part of me and the worst part of me. I have been like, they know when I'm starting to be stressed. The message on Slack is like, boom, 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 boom. Okay, what's happening, Joanna? And it actually caused them also mental distress when I start to do that one, because there are some things me as a business leader, as a leader, is not serving them. So at the end of the day, right? So we're going to be talking about the 5 hidden gaps. You as a leader needs to address all of these gaps in order for your team to properly support you as you grow your business. So let's talk about this 5 hidden gaps or killing your growth right now. Okay. So let's talk about this first is, for example, you have delay response into your sales and marketing process. Now, I've told you a little bit about my story when it comes to the operational side, but hear me out why we are focusing on the front end of your business, and then we tie up into the back end. And that is why the growth gap system has been created. Like, I have to tailor down what is it that I do in order for me to properly explain to business owners like you on what you ought to do. So the very first thing is that your delayed follow-up. So you can, for example, with your sales and marketing, you can pay ads, you can run content, you can do social media posts, right? This, right? If you don't get back to people fast, the money is gone. They move on to your next competitor. That's why a system that is all in one needs to be there in order for you to address things accordingly. If you don't want yet a system, you want to make sure that you're training your assistant to identify what emails, what communication they can right away response with, so that your client understand that, hey, you got this message. You know, a simple tip is even using your email Google autoresponder. Just tell them, hey, I got your message. We reply back within 24 hours. So we'll get back to you. And then reply if you're already available, right? That alone is very important. If you are not communicating in a certain time frame or not involving your clients that, hey, you got this message, you are really missing a lot in terms of your growth gap or the growth that you're trying to do. Number two is that there's no real pipeline. So I've been here. I've been with spreadsheet. I have been with notebooks. I've ordered in Amazon one time like 8 notebooks, and then like, which notebook did I put that person's name again? If you don't have a system there, you are really making your business like fall short, right? Because you are not storing it in a place that you can put notes on, you can put task on, you can tag your team about, hey, follow up on this person, or know this thing that is happening, right? So if you're constantly asking where is the lead at, or did someone follow up with them, you don't have a system, you have a guesswork. And that's one thing that we would love to avoid if you're planning to scale in 2026. Now, third gap is going to be the big one: manual tasks draining your time. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here for a little bit. If you are a new business owner, I'm going to tell this to you: do not automate yet. All right. I'm going to be honest. I work with automation. I have automated part of my business. The reason why you're shooting your foot, like you're doing your own foot, if you're going to do that one right away, is because once you automate things and systematize things, you want to make sure that these are the things in the process that is already working. And then as you go along the way, you can then revamp it and elevate it. This is the reason why I started doing things on my own, like sending manual proposal, sending manual contracts, sending manual leads, follow up, like reminders, calendars, right? I did that one, but with the intention that I need to understand which part I need to automate. Because if you come again in business, you are so new, you don't even know what will happen next. And they say, hey, let me hire Joanna right now because I want to make sure that I'm automate because that's what she said. Scaling is automating. Hold on for a minute. I want to be honest with you, is that you need to put things in the paper and then implement it, and then have an intentional mindset that what I'm doing right now is what I want to grow and automate tomorrow, the next day, the 2 weeks. I want you first to be nitty gritty into the grounds, knowing what your business process is. Because we do this process, we call this the growth gap engine build. So this is our custom build CRM. The reason why we always start with the growth gap scan is because we want to scan first what is happening with your front end and your back end. Then we do the blueprint. Just like a business growth architect, we need a blueprint to make sure that what we're building is what we're going to implement, and that will work once it is already taken over by a system, by automation, or by AI, right? So, but if you then are maybe 2 years into business, 3 years into business, you have reached the next milestone in your income, marketing is working, sales is there, right? You understand how clients sign up, what is the onboarding, what is the next form, what is the next project, right? You then need to identify things that you want to automate, because once you're still doing things, once it's so fast and you did not prepare yourself because you were not intentional in growing your business and really identifying your process, you will be buried and you will just hate your business. I've done that one, I've been there. And that's why each of the document I now said, okay, we have an SOP. Here's two things I need you to update because you're the one doing it. I need you to update the part that needs to be improved. An SOP, once you work with me, you're going to read this SOP, you're going to implement it. And once you've done it and you think that there needs a tweak or like a revision or a revamp, go ahead and do it. But I need you to document it, because one person should not be doing one other thing, and it's going to be a mess if we're just doing things differently. What's the use of a standard operating procedure, right? So, third gap that is killing your growth is that once you've scaled, once you understand your process, once you've been doing things manually, and you still cannot let go of the manual task, you're just really killing yourself as a business owner. You cannot scale that way, right? So number four is that too many disconnected tools. That's a reason why I invested in EmpowerSoft, our all-in-one CRM platform, because you have one email marketing, you have your CRM, you have your SMS, you have your portal, you have all of these things. If you add those up into the total sum of your cost of tools, that's more than what I offer. Our starting point for EmpowerSoft is $97 for 2 users, right? And then you can upgrade with all of those things. You can do email marketing. You can build your website. You can build your SMS. You have all this follow up, your social media. You can activate a reactivation campaign, right? If you just check out how much Bird Eye alone for data reactivation, or that's review management, sorry, It might be the other way around. That costs already a lot. Email marketing, even if you tell me MailChimp is actually just $24, $39 compared to $97, they're just doing your email marketing. Then maybe they will add on SMS, right? As a feature. Of course, the deliverable usage of email and SMS is going to be another fee, right? So think about this, right? If you have too many disconnected tools, you get overwhelmed. Rather than helping you out, it just mess you up. So if you ask me what are the main tools in my business, I have Canva, I have EmpowerSoft, I have um, Figma, Monday.com, and Slack. Those are the core things that makes my business. Of course, Google email, email marketing, workspace, and everything. Not email marketing, but Google Workspace for business transaction or emails. Dubsado for a contract because we haven't moved yet on EmpowerSoft because we just have all our templates there, so no need to move. So as you can see, I can just identify less than 10 tools that my business operate, and all the other things are just add on if I want to. But operational wise, those are the things, those are the key things that will operate in my business, right? So you want it to be lesser. In 2026, you need to be strategic. Do a software audit on what you are using currently right now. Do that one. All right. Do an audit on your front end and your back end, right? If you're scaling, and number five is actually really the zero visibility of conversion. So you don't know what's working, what is dropping. So currently, right now, we have mapped out our 2026 webinars, events, email marketing, social media campaigns, because we've switches, right? So if I cannot see the growth on our newsletter or maybe on our webinar or maybe on the marketing exposures that we're doing, if I'm paying ads, if I'm doing the ads, because you don't have the data, again, you cannot scale something without a data. You don't know what you don't know, so you don't know which one you're going to work and improved on, right? It's basic common sense, I would say. So you want to make sure that you are identifying all of this into your business. As a business owner, it is our responsibility to really prepare ourselves, our team, our clients to win because of what you have done and prepared, and making sure that when you're scaling, the growth gap is being closed. Because here's one thing that I've really noticed: every milestone, every shift, every pivot, everything that happens in a growing business, whether it's growing in audience, growing in monetary, of course, is number one, it should be the money, right? And growing in offers, growing on services, right? Growing in team. You want to make sure that systems are in place. There's a lot of components that is part of a business operation. There's really a lot. But what my main focus is focusing on your front end. We're in the beauty sparkle of your website, your marketing, your ads, your funnels. Where does it go? Are they automated? Are they response correctly? Are your calendars not manual? Please, it's already 2026 coming soon. Please don't give me like, does this work for you? Or how about this? Just send me a calendar. I'm okay with that. Some people are like, oh, building relationship. But at the end of the day, I respect your time and I respect my time. So let's just book a call using my calendar, right? So you want to make sure that if you are trying to scale, whether you're a business owner, a solo entrepreneur, an agent, but you are growing, you want to make sure that you are intentional on all the things that you are doing in your business, right? Because here's just the thing: growth is inevitable if you want to go there. I mean, if you're working hard, if you're working smarter, and you have a big dream to elevate yourself to scale in 2026, it's just not be in your mind, but it's also going to be your team is aligned, your tools is aligned, your messaging is aligned, and it needs planning. It's already November 17 as of this recording. And if you're not planning things out that will support your scaling business mindset in 2026, you might not able to achieve that one. Just an honest thought. I'm just being honest here, right? Okay, so here's the thing. It's called the closing the gap. These are the five hidden gaps in scaling. I really have my notes because sometimes I can just blurb around. So here's what we're doing right now is on November 24, if you are in the financial, if you are wealth advisor, you are in the financial advisor, wealth management, financial advisor, real estate agent, insurance agent, I'd like to support you in 2026 to make sure that you understand how each of your leads can be systematized and that you can put it in one place. I'm going to teach you the concept of my framework, the Dabao framework, that is the diagnose, align, build, activate, and optimize. That's where the growth gap system is coming in all together with the Dabao framework. And I'm just so excited to teach you that one. That's going to be on November 24, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time zone. We're going to be focused things on more on the gap that you are missing, how you should be monitoring your leads, how can you actually automate things, how can you build nurture things, what tool you can do. Again, this is all for you so that you are ready to make a decision. Every one of us needs to have a good educational decision based on the information that we're provided. There's a lot of information out there, there's a lot of tools out there, but I am in the works of really empowering you to making sure that you close the growth gap in your business. There's really a high pitch in that one. And to make sure that you can understand the Dabao framework that we have been following in our business. All right. So we are going to be doing a lot of things soon as well. So that's going to be the start off of our webinar. Just DM me so that I can send you the link. We have been working on the landing page for that one. As you can see, we prioritize clients first and then later on for our internal stuff. But you can actually register for that one or just DM me, like just say webinar. I know then that you're actually talking on for the November 24 event. So I'll be talking more about how to scale, to systematize things, whether you decide to do multiple stuff. But I'm going to give you my principle of workflow and process and how I do things from capturing your leads and then identifying how a tool can actually help you. So again, if you are a financial advisor, wealth management, real estate agent, insurance agent, come hang out with me during that time, an hour via Zoom. I'm so excited to actually talk to you about it. All right, so we are back. I'm so excited. I'm just still cold. I wish I'm in the summer season still. I think I'm really a summer gal, but hey, I enjoy the winter and the holidays, right? Thanksgiving is going to be soon here in the US. So I'm so excited about that. So make sure to follow us. We are currently live. I always am so active on my personal page here on Facebook, which I love. LinkedIn, we have our business pages. So hang out with me and I'll talk to you more soon. So if you have any question, go ahead and drop this down because I know the videos are now starting to be deleted here in Facebook. That's why all of our videos that we do live is actually moving to YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for that one. And if you would love to work with me when it comes to your website, branding, system, using Go High Level or Empower Soft, book a call with me. And if you want, because you are a growing business and you want to make sure that your front end and your back end is working together for 2026, book a growth gap scan. I call it a gap scan, not a discovery call, because I've been in the ER for 2 times because of my handy dandy heart and my blood pressure. I got to be honest, so I'm trying to be more intentional. But you know what they do first? They actually scan you first before they diagnose you with anything. So I call the growth gap scan. Make sure to actually comment gap scan if you want to make sure that your front end in your business and your back end are talking together and you would love to have a 15-minute consultation with me because we are going to be using my growth gap scorecard to make sure that this is working for you and not against you. All right, guys, my name is Joanna. I'm the creator and founder of Savvy Chic Design and Empower Soft and the creator of the growth gap system and the Dabao framework. Yes, I do a lot of things. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.